Welcome to the Impact with Robin Dorsey. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. How are you all? I love and miss you all. I am so glad that you are here with me today because, of course, you're on the Impact with Robin Dorsey. And, of course, we have another extraordinary, fantastic, fabulous, and phenomenal guest. And I cannot wait for you to meet him because when I tell you this man here is so extraordinary in the things that he does and how he embraces and networks and works together to be this wonderful and great, exceptional being, I am just in awe of my guest for today. So I hope you all are ready because I am about to introduce to you my fantastic and fabulous guest. So without further ado, let me introduce to you my guest. Are y'all ready? I hope y'all ready. You ready for me today? Because I'm ready for you. So my guest today is none other than Dr. Larry White Sr. Now this man here, let me just tell you in for a treat tonight. I love it. I just can't wait. I'm so excited with what we have going on today with this show here. So, number one, he is a Navy veteran. So, thank you for your service. We love you, and we are honored that you served the country for us on our behalf. So, thank you so much. Now, he has like 500 other titles too. This is what entrepreneurs do. You understand? We don't have just one title. We have many titles because we do a lot. That's what entrepreneurs do. We make it work. So, he is a CEO and founder of VipEvents Concierge LLC. Mr. White is a native of Gary, Indiana, and the youngest of 3 children. He's the youngest, so then you know how them babies was always spoiled too. So that's probably say no. We'll get into that. We're gonna ask him all of the good questions. You know I bring it out of people. Now he is also married to Rebecca Lansgang White, and she is the administrator for the State of Maryland Public School System. So hello, we love you. Welcome. Mr. White spent 12 years on active duty with the U.S. Navy, receiving numerous Navy Achievement Medals and Good Conduct Awards. Of course he did, because he's phenomenal, and that's why we have him here today on the show. Hello. In the Navy is where Mr. White learned how to become a team player. Yes, you do have to be a team player in these types of environment, people. All the people that say they don't play in the sandbox are not team players, listen, you won't be an entrepreneur. You got to play in the sandbox. He is a mentor. He is an entrepreneur. He is a father. He is a veteran. I mean, I love it. I love it. The list goes on and on and on and on. Larry was the intricate volunteer while on active duty, earning Volunteer of the Year for Sherwood Forest Elementary School. See, he's a philanthropist. See what I'm telling you? Already. We only had like 5 or 6. I love it. In addition to that, he has appeared on various television programs, and now he's on the Impact with Robin Dorsey. So thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
And radio stations speaking on leadership, mentoring, and entrepreneurship, which is so important because we have a lot to learn, a lot to give back, and a lot to help people grow and implement the things that they want to do to nurture their dreams into reality. Mr. White has had the opportunity of working with Ambassador Shabazz, Dr. Ben Carson, Angela Wimbush, Charlie Wilson. I mean, the list goes. I told you he was extraordinary. Hello, did you get the memo? Yes. So without further ado, we're going to go on about more. We're going to get into some of these other things that he has. But without further ado, please allow me to introduce to you Dr. Larry White Sr. Hello and welcome.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm very humbled. The bio that you read, you know, I just thank you so much, Robin, for the platform to be here today. When I walked into the studio, you greeted me with the Spirit of God just written all over your face.
Oh,
So I just
thank
want to
you.
thank you, because all the accolades I have, the most important one is being a child of God.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
And
Very
just
important.
Just to be able to have these platforms like your show, to be able to disseminate a message, have a vehicle to just say, hey, this is what we're doing. And I told one of my mentees earlier this week, go to a school,
Yes,
volunteer, because
absolutely.
as entrepreneurs, we always need to be giving back to the community.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen. So let's get right on to this. So, our wonderful audience want to know about who is Dr. Larry White Sr. So we're about to find out. So take me back to your childhood. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Believe it or not, and the book talks about it here,
Okay.
I am not an NBA player. That's what I really wanted to
You
be.
wanted to be an NBA player?
Back in the day, I could ball a little
Yeah.
bit.
All right. So to learn something new, he can ball.
And I was captain of my basketball team all the way
Okay.
up until high school, and I joined the Navy with attributes to be the next Roger Staubach, meaning play all Navy basketball and get a shot at playing in the NBA. Just didn't work out too well for me.
Okay.
But I always was like a leader in my department, whether I was the supervisor or the department head. So being the captain of a basketball team, going back to the early childhood days, as you had mentioned, you learn leadership skills.
Absolutely. Yes, you do.
You learn how to work together as a team, cultivating a team. So you just can't be out there being the captain of
That's
the team,
right.
because you're only as good as your weakest
That's
link.
right. That's right.
So that's what
People are your most valuable asset.
Absolutely. Growing up as well as a young African American in a rural area, Gary, Indiana, it was the murder capital of the world for 7 years in a row. A lot similar to Baltimore. So I was an Eagle Scout. You don't see a lot of
Eagle
African
Scout.
Americans make it to be an Eagle Scout.
True.
So that taught me how to go to senior citizen homes and give fruit baskets with my Boy Scout leader, David Bryan. Shout out to David Bryan.
Hi, David.
So
Hope you're listening.
and so with the sports to keep us out of trouble, and also volunteering and being a Boy Scout, it really showed me how to be a humanitarian.
I love that. So it started at the young, tender age.
Of 13.
And it helped to
Yeah.
cultivate you to the man that you are today. I love that.
And it's all in that book right there.
Yes, we're going to talk about that. We're
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
get to your book now. Don't you even worry. We're going to touch all of these subjects so people will get to really know who you are, what do you do, why you give back, why you do what you do, and what keeps you going on. So that's what we're going to talk about here today.
Absolutely.
And that's why you are Leading with Excellence. That's the name of your show.
You know what? I got to tell you, I've been excited all week.
Oh, wow, thank you.
When you blessed me with the opportunity and asked if I could be on the show, I'm like, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Who would not
thank
want
you.
to be on the Robin Show? And the fact is that watching the people that you're connected with, my mother used to always say this to me. She said, Larry, show me the people you hang around with, and I'll tell you a little bit about yourself. And I say
I
that
love
a
that.
lot because a lot of times the people that are in your inner circle can really determine your income, your network.
Yes,
and things
they
like
can.
That.
Yes,
Yeah,
they can.
Absolutely.
So you were not able to become the basketball great legend. So you overcame that. You still became a leader and a cultivator. So let's take us back through your high school years.
Yeah.
So in high school, okay, you figured out that may not work out for you. So what did you want to do, or what were you doing then? And what type of kid was you? Was you a good kid to your parents, being the baby and all? Was you spoiled? Come on, tell us about it.
I was definitely spoiled.
Okay.
But my older brother was a pioneer. He was the one that went out and said, hey, let me shovel snow. Let me get a paper route so you don't have to do anything.
Oh, wow. So he was a young entrepreneur. So it's in the family.
I tell him the other day, I said, you are the real hero of where
Oh,
I'm at today,
wow. I
because he
love
paved the way.
that.
He went to college and sent money home, and then he ended up dropping out of college, going into the Navy so he could help take care of the family.
Okay. Wow.
And obviously following his footsteps. But back to your original question. In high school, I was a C+, B- student.
Okay.
I was pretty decent as a student athlete, but I was vice president of my sophomore class.
Yes.
I was-
Leader. See, leadership.
I was vice president of my junior class.
Yes.
I was homecoming king.
Wow. He was amazing even
And
back then.
I had all these accolades, but I always wanted to, shout out to Gary, Indiana, because so many of them watched me grow and see this coming to
Yes,
fruition.
I
They knew
love
I'd
that.
be good at something. They just didn't know what, because I was an athlete. But I was always volunteering. Like, if I was not in the play, I would be the MC.
Okay. I love that.
So I was a class leader.
Okay.
I was an athlete, team leader there as a captain, and I was a mama's boy.
Yeah.
You know, I lost my mom January 9th. But
sorry to hear that.
she just always told me, be kind to people. It'll come back to you.
Absolutely.
And she was just a wonderful person. And she always said, you're going to go far.
Yes.
And I remember, this is kind of what sparked my career where I'm at today. She told me to go up and say hello to the mayor of Gary, Indiana at the time. His name was Richard Gordon Hatcher.
Okay.
And he's like got the longest tenure of mayoral, like 20 years.
Okay.
I believe Andrew Young from Atlanta is around that 3 or 4 terms. But the point is, I went and said hello, and it was crowds of people, and I shook his hand, and he goes, boy, you're a bright young man. And my mother always used to say, Larry, there are no berries in the library.
I like that. No berries in the library. Okay.
Yeah, and she'd always said, you have to pronounce your words correctly.
Absolutely.
Enunciate, articulate. So early on, as early as 5, 6 years of age, this will probably be the key to the show. I auditioned for a play.
Okay, tell us about it.
Third grade.
Third grade, okay.
I auditioned for a play for the lead role in the Black History program.
Okay.
Chase School Elementary. Shout out to the Beavers.
I love it.
And my mom says, well, I don't know if you should audition. They only give it to 6th graders. I said, Mom, I got this.
I know that's confident.
I got this. And I went up there, and I knew all my lines verbatim. And I saw the teachers huddling like, what are we going to do?
Right.
And I never forget, Bruce was the 6th grader. He could play the piano. He was deemed to get the leading role of Muhammad Ali at the time.
Wow.
1975. And of course, Muhammad Ali at that time was everything to the black community, ambassador of the world for what he had did. The fact of the matter is, I not only got the leading role for the Black History program, but I was the first 3rd grader in history of that school to lead the play. And that just let me know you can do anything. Philippians 4:13.
Yes, right? That you put your mind to, and you have to work for it. It's not going to fall in your lap. Some things may, but what comes easy don't stay long. So
Absolutely.
Work for it. I like that.
That right there let me know that I could really be great.
Yes.
And a lot of people will tell you no.
Yes, they will.
And you just got to keep pushing. And even times when you're praying to God, God may say yes. He may say no. He may say wait. So I always know what's for me is for me.
That's right.
And
can no man take that away.
Amen.
My pastor said one time, Pastor Rudolph Brooks, shout out to you. So he said, you can receive 1,000 no's. Mm-hmm. But it only take one yes from God. Yes. 1,000 no's. Absolutely. You could be rejected all your life or your dreams that you've ever wanted to do. But when God said yes and this is yours, can nobody stop it.
Amen.
I love that.
Amen.
Yes. Okay, so you have been an entrepreneur all your life.
Not all my life, since 2012.
No, actually, all your life, because if you started this thing in the 3rd grade, you already had that business mindset that, listen, I am going to succeed. I am going to get what I want. I'm going to work hard to get it, and I'm going to achieve it. So, yes, you are an entrepreneur in the 3rd grade. So that is phenomenal.
And from a business standpoint, I was thinking about when I incorporated, but you're right, because a lot of times when I was driving over here, I was talking to the Senior VP of Operations. Shout out to the DMV Mastermind Group, Dr. Essie McCoy and author Kimberly McLemore. We have to tighten up our group. And a lot of times when you have these leadership skills in cultivating a team, I got to tell you a nice story. You don't like this will tie this in. In the kindergarten, I was cheating off a colleague's paper. His name is George Comer. We just knew.
And you remember their names since kindergarten. You are phenomenal.
I just got back from my hometown, and I told this story to all of my classmates from back then, and they knew it. We just knew George Comer would be the first president, Barack Obama. He was just as smart. His father was an English teacher. We're going to be a superintendent of my city. But here's what happened. George knew I was cheating on his paper.
Wow. Okay.
And I got an A one day. And I was so happy. Well, it was a math matrix, so if you change one number, you mess up the whole matrix. So I cheated off of his paper the next day, turned my paper in, and got an F. And I said, wow.
How did that happen?
And he says, Larry, you have to do your own work. I said, you're right. And so I always modeled myself academically off of him because he got straight A's.
Yes.
But fast forwarding 4 years.
Okay.
I was the captain of my middle school, Tolston Raiders. Shout out to Tolston.
I love that.
And the coach says, Larry, we got to cut 2 people.
Okay.
And you got to make the call. And George Comer came up and said, Larry, I know I'm one of the ones getting cut. I say, see how life come full circle. I needed you back then, you needed me now. 2 kind of different scenarios, but I kept him on the team as long as I could until we got to the tournament time. But it just was interesting because I remember 4 or 5 years prior to that, I was cheating off his paper.
Right.
And then 4 or 5 years later, here he was saying, hey, you're an honor student now.
Can you help me out?
Can you help me out? So I always, absolutely. And so I'm glad we were able to kind of, like you say, go a little bit off some of my bio, see how, this person, Dr. Larry White Sr., became who I am today. So thank you so much for allowing me to.
See, the thing is, that's an intricate part of us because it's where we started. It's kind of how you end. So we started this thing. So many people just see I was just talking to my sister Keisha this on the way here as well, and we were talking about people always see the end result of all of your success, and they're like, wow, this person made it, this person is doing this person is doing that, but they don't know the story behind. They don't know the grind that you had to endure and develop throughout your years of getting to where you are. They just see the end of it, and they're like, wow, we want to be just like that. But then if you start to hear the story of how that became, like I was telling people, I sold Kirby vacuum cleaners door to door. My mother hated that job because they would pick me up in this van at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I wouldn't get home till 9 o'clock at night. Wow. Now I sold 5 of these things, and at that time it was like $1,500 or $1,800 for this vacuum cleaner. You'd go door to door knocking, so it was a time where it's not so bad as it is now. But I'm knocking door to door, saying, hey, with this big old Tide gift basket, say, can I shampoo a portion of your carpet just to show you why you should buy this $1,800 vacuum cleaner that does everything? And I did sell 5 of them, but I realized, first of all, that I was doing too many hours for someone else.
Yes.
And then the commission after selling, there was an $1,800 vacuum cleaner. I believe my commission was only $500. So I'm spending the whole, 12, 13, 14-hour days for $500. So I woke up pretty quickly. It was like, you know what, this is not for me. But again, it's how nobody knows those types of stories. So I always, when I have guests on my show, I like to know what occurred, what happened, what was the heart, what did you want to be, and are you doing that? And if not, what are you doing now, and how did that transform? So I thank you for sharing your wonderful stories with me.
Absolutely. You just hit it on the nail on the head. It's like a sequence of events. You don't wake up one day and it become
great,
a million.
right.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that the Lord will take you through some storms.
Yes, He will.
Some ups and downs. And I tell you, I've been through some storms, some ups and downs, but I wouldn't change a thing.
Not at all.
I loved going through the storm because I saw a young man going through a storm the other day, and I said, man, I remember going through something like that, so now I got to mentor him to help him come out of his storm as well. But it helps you, like you say, when you reach that entrepreneurship level, and you got to make a hardcore decision as a leader, what's the best for your brand and your team.
I love that. So now you did these wonderful things in elementary, middle school, and high school. You decide that you want to go into the military. So your brother was in the Navy, so you wanted to, model after him.
Yep.
And so is that the sole reason why you chose to go into the military and the Navy? Why did you choose the Navy, or why did you choose the military path? So let's go down that one.
Well, the Navy is a tradition in my family.
Okay.
My dad was in the Navy.
Wow.
My brother went to the Navy, and I just couldn't break the mold.
Okay, go Navy.
Go Navy. And when I joined the Navy, I said, you know what, I really want to do it a little bit better than my brother.
Okay. So you had some competition going on, man. So you was the baby and all.
Yeah. When he made E5, well, he never made E5, and I went on to make E6. He goes, man, you got me by 2 stripes. But everything, again, I did the same thing. We worked on computers. We were at the same MOS.
Oh, wow.
So after traveling the world 3 times over, that's when it was like there's no big brother there to take up for you. There's no mom and dad to have the food. I had to. This is the first time I'm away from home.
Wow.
I'm working with different races of people that don't like the color of my skin.
Absolutely.
And I'm really like, we got to have each other's back to work with each other. And I quickly realized the only way I can get out of being a part of the problem is get rank and be a part of the solution.
To be a part of the solution, yes.
So I took my test and I advanced quickly, and next thing you know, I became a supervisor, and I was fair to everybody, whether you're black, white, green, or yellow, but I had a voice.
That's right.
You hear about it, we just want a seat at the table.
That's right.
And being in the Navy just gave me the diversity.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times as African American men, we could wake up because it's a lot of pressure waking up being an African American male.
Yes, it is.
Not to say that for African American female,
right.
But when we look at today's 6 o'clock news and
yes.
we see what's happening. So I've been pulled over. I got a brand new car out there that the Lord done blessed me with. And I remember 20 years ago, I had a car like that, and I used to get pulled over in Virginia Beach once a week for racial profiling.
Once a week.
So this thing with Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown and all these senseless crimes, I've been feeling this for 30 years.
Wow.
And sometimes we just got to know how to play the game.
You have to play the game.
And I tell my 3 sons that are African American, you have to be twice as better than your Caucasian counterparts.
Yes, you do.
A lot of my great friends that are Caucasian, they just don't understand the struggle of going up the corporate ladder, being an African American male. Much like yourself, I got tired of making a lot of money for another company.
For other people.
Because a lot of times when you're tall and kind of big guy like myself, you know, and you're a little sharp, they get a little intimidated about
and they
you.
want to suppress your skills and abilities.
Keep you in a box.
Keep you in the box and put you over here in the corner. So we're not going to put you in the front of the office because you're shining too much. We're going to put you back here in the corner, in the closet.
Absolutely. You know, when I look at, these pictures that are being displayed by your producer and your engineers, blood, sweat, and tears of starting my own brand. And I have worked with the Navy just to go back to the Navy gave me the skills to pay the bills, the skill set to deal with diverse ethnic issues. And a lot of people say, Larry, you're so professional. So I do give the Navy the opportunity because they spent thousands of dollars on me for training.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I love that.
Absolutely. Great question there, Robin.
No problem. Thank you.
You dig deep.
I do, because like the audience want to know. We got to get to the core, and
get rid of the fluff, right?
And then get rid of the fluff, and then bring it all in, so we can show you how they can utilize your service and you can utilize theirs. So we're a family environment here. We're here to help one another. God never intended for us to just keep it all to ourselves.
Amen.
Because you can't take it with you. If I die today or tomorrow, I cannot take my master's and halfway through my PhD with me. So I have to be able to share those resources and the knowledge and abilities that I've learned and grown throughout the years with other people such as yourself on this platform or any other platform.
That is correct.
Because it's just so important to give back and make a difference in the community and other people's lives, because you just never know what some of the things that you may say that will resonate with somebody who's watching or listening, and then they take that and then they fulfill their dreams. That is the most fulfilling thing ever in life.
Amen. I completely agree with you. If I could just sum up just some of the stuff, and you just said it, giving back.
Yes.
Just seeing the difference, when I go read to students at schools, you can just see, sometimes we take up one of our limousines and for career day, and let the 5th graders, where this the toughest area right now for elementary students is the 5th graders that are going off to middle school.
Right.
And just to show them, okay, you're in your classroom, but let's talk about entrepreneurship. I remember having a lemonade stand.
Yes.
And selling my lemonade, and that money I earned. And so I try to go and speak to our youth.
Yes.
I've spoken at Morgan State. I've spoken at several schools in Anne Arundel County and Prince George's County to encourage young people, take business classes when you go to college and come back out of college. It's okay to work in corporate America, but here's the difference. If you don't have a college degree, that will not stop you in entrepreneurship.
Amen.
I didn't need a college degree to write my first book or start my business. And so you're going to need that college degree, and I encourage all our young people to go to college. But to get up the corporate ladder,
yes, you do.
In corporate America, 9 to 5, you're going to need certain certifications. You're going to need certain degrees, and then it still ain't guaranteed.
Right.
And I'll say this: I think that all people should be passionate and living their purpose.
Yes.
If you're not happy in that cubicle, start your business and work your way out and have a transition plan.
That's right, a transition plan. Yes, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the Navy. Now you decided you wanted to start your own business. You have been doing business, entrepreneurship pretty much all your life, as we stated. And so now you wanted to start your own business. What gave you the idea for the VIP Events Concierge to start that type of brand? What enabled you for that?
Ready, set, go, impact.
Yes, love it.
In 2012, I was in a cubicle in Baltimore working for the state of Maryland.
Okay.
And I would get yelled at, being an IT guy. I'd get yelled at because it's a break-fix job.
Yes.
Computer's not working, BlackBerry's not working, fix it.
Right.
And I remember being in a meeting one day, and I said, listen, spend this much money on this infrastructure or you're going to have some problems down the road.
Yep.
They're like, no, we're going to pretty much band-aid it, spend less.
That's what they do.
And what would hurt me the most or make me in a bad situation is that I would have to deal with those daily calls. Now, if they had spent the necessary money,
that's right, in the beginning,
we wouldn't have all these bumps and bruises in the road.
That's right.
They asked me to politely leave the meeting.
Okay.
I left the meeting and they went in another direction. And when I heard what we were doing, I go, wow, I'm not going to get any. My phone would ring on Saturday, Sunday. I remember took my family to the Biltmore in Asheville, North Carolina. Beautiful, if you've ever been to the Biltmore.
Right. No, I have not. I'm going to have to put that on my list.
Put it on your bucket list. It's like Disney World. It's amazing.
Yes.
I got a call on the weekend, and they didn't know I was on vacation. I said, with all due respect, I'm on vacation.
Yes.
And they said, well, we'll give you a day, but you need to come back up here quickly and fix this. And at that time, I said, I'm in the wrong place.
That's right.
I went down to Preston Street in Baltimore and got incorporated the
next day.
Yes,
I love that place.
And the fact of the matter is, it was during the first, I'll never forget it, like clear day. It was during the first President Barack Obama bailout, where the economy was bad. And here I am starting a company with a VIP slogan, but the word concierge, it means to be of service in French.
Yes, it does.
And so we've been talking about my childhood, giving back to the community, volunteering. I needed to start a company that represented me and what I was about.
Yes.
So I wanted people to have a VIP evening on a frugal budget.
Yes.
Concierge, to be of service. How may I serve you?
Yes, I love that.
And so 2012, I started VIP Events Concierge. Here we are 6 years later. I've never looked back.
Yes.
And I've just been blessed to be featured in the Baltimore Sun, Washington Post, and for business.
Yes.
And I was able to see how corporate America did it wrong. But guess what? Guess what? At VIP Events Concierge,
you do
we can get it right.
That's right.
And the good thing about it, I can go to sleep at night knowing that I had the final call.
That's right.
I chose to work with certain people, not certain people, but have sponsorship, like they take sponsors to keep the show on. And so with my events, I need sponsors. So I learned all of that through the Navy.
Yes,
growing up,
go Navy.
Yeah, growing up, as a young youth, being a leader in those. So to run a company is just managing people.
That's
having
right.
the assets.
Managing the assets. Yes, I love that.
Absolutely, great question.
Thank you. So, tell us, so you do VIP events as your company. So tell our audience, for those who don't know, a little bit about the services that you provide. What does it entail? What type of experience will they get when they call you to say, hi, I would like to utilize your service? What are they going to get when they contact your company?
Excellence.
Yes, excellence.
Excellence. Our Facebook page has a 4.9 star. The highest you can get is 5, and I'm thinking, I didn't send a stretch limousine for someone one day, so they went from a 5 to a 3. I think it was personal.
Wow.
But we're 4.9 stars, and that's really great. We have no bad reviews at all. But VIP events, first of all, let me start off with my website.
Yes, please.
VIP Events with an S, that's VipEventsConcierge.com. You can go there and find all these great things.
Wow.
We have 3 arms. We have event planning,
okay,
where we'll plan anything from a red carpet, a black tie gala, to a wine tasting, fundraiser, all your event planning needs. Event marketing. If you're struggling with a corporate sponsorship package, selling tickets, we'll come in there and help you promote your event.
So I love that.
Yeah, the event planning, the event marketing. And then the transportation, we have 50 vehicles in the fleet.
Wow.
So we cover Richmond to New York. So if you need transportation to the airport, we do all 3. We do DCA, Dulles, and BWI.
Okay.
So if you just need a car to pick you up from the radio station to get you to the airport, we'll provide that. Not to throw any shade to Uber, but Uber focuses on transportation, get you A to B. If you're not there, you pay, they're gone.
Right.
We're going to stay there and wait for you, and we're not going to charge you. We're going to have bottled water in the car, and if it's anything above an 8-passenger, we put complimentary roses and snacks, red carpet. And I just want to shout out to the DMV, because I've done all the parents that I've done proms for.
Yes.
I did a prom for Mr. Bill Spruill. I want to shout out to him. I did 3 proms for this man. So here's the key. If you do 1 prom and he call you back the next year to do his second daughter's prom, and then he call you back the 3rd year to do the 3rd daughter's, you know you're
look
doing
at
something
that
right.
business. That's called exceptional service. Yes.
And when he sent all 3 of his daughters to college, he says, Larry, don't call me back for any more car service because I'm broke. You know? But
I love it.
I just thank all of the folks for trusting me with their children. You hear a lot of stories about these different car services, hack, Lyft, and things. We haven't had 1 complaint of a passenger.
Yes.
And we're always on our safety checkups, making sure the limousines, you saw what happened in New York last week. We make sure that we are keeping our vehicles safe, licenses are intact. And shout out to Mr. Charles. He's been driving for 40 years.
Wow,
we show up in a black suit. See, I come in a tuxedo today because I might have to drive somewhere.
Yes.
So a lot of times, as the CEO of the company, I might have to get in the car and drive.
That's right. Oh, wow. So you're not even, as the CEO, you're not still afraid to get your hands dirty.
Roll them up.
Roll your sleeves up and get it in. Do what it takes to serve your customers. I love that. And that speaks volumes to the type of person that you are, the type of business that you have, and your love and appreciation for your customers says a lot. So I applaud you for that.
I got to tell you this. On my website, we got a nice 5-star rating from Stacy Ladisaw. And as we talked off air, I have an opportunity to work with her for the 2nd time. She trusts the business because it's about the experience. People may forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
That's right. That's right.
And so kind of the comparison to Uber, just again, is that we just don't focus getting you A to B.
Right.
We focus on getting you to A to B, and also we want to make sure that the experience is a great experience.
Yes.
And so that's what we really focus on, high energy excellence. And if our drivers aren't giving that great customer service, then we got to find another job for you, because we're out here serving people back to the community.
I love that.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take a quick 90-second break. Please don't go too far. So this is October, which is Breast Cancer Month, and he has his ribbon on. So thank you so much for endorsing and appreciating breast cancer in women, because many people are affected by that.
Absolutely.
My mom passed away from breast cancer. So this is one of the illnesses that a lot of people are dealing with. So it's Breast Cancer Month. This is also Domestic Violence Month and Sexual Assault. So the PSA that you're about to see is with Barack Obama and Joe Biden about sexual assault. So in 90 seconds, we'll be right back. Come on back, because we have more stuff to share on the second half.
We have a big problem, and we need your help.
It's happening on college campuses, at bars, at parties, even in high schools.
It's happening to our sisters and our daughters,
our wives and our friends.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent, it's rape, it's assault.
It's a crime. It's wrong.
If I saw it happening, I was taught you have to do something about it.
If I saw it happening, I speak up.
If I saw it happening, I'd never blame her. I'd help her.
Because I don't want to be a part of the problem.
I want to be a part of the solution.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
Welcome back. Thank you for sticking in there with us. I appreciate you so much. As you heard before we went on our 90-second break to honor domestic violence and sexual assault and breast cancer with the PSA, we were talking to the extraordinary and phenomenal Dr. Larry White Sr. He is my fantastic guest. I am so honored to have him here today because he is phenomenal. So we have a couple of questions, a couple of comments from our audience that's tuning in. So I'm going to read a couple and then we're going to get back into our show. So we have Arthur McCoy says, Dr. White, the extraordinaire, thanks for the impact you've made in my life. Blessings to you and your family. Thank you so much. I love that. Then we also have Dee Bowden. Hello, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. She says, good evening, you all. We're having a great show. Then we have Howard Gaskin. Kiss My Bumper is watching. Hello, Howard. I love you. Yes, and I miss you too. We'll see each other soon. Don't worry. So now that we have touched on some of the people, let's get back into the show. So we were talking about your childhood, how you became an entrepreneur at such a young and tender age. You knew what you wanted to do. You went after it. You did it. You succeeded. You achieved. I love it. Then you went on to becoming a Navy veteran. You know, you've been a philanthropist, giving back, and you're implementing on kids in their schools and just being a blessing to many people. And then you have this fantastic and phenomenal business, VipEvents Concierge, which you provide extraordinary and exceptional customer service to your customers and clients. So welcome back.
Well, look, I got to tell you, life is good.
Yes, it is.
We talk about journey. Life is a journey, and I knew at some point, you know, my mom would pass away or my dad. Right. I didn't anticipate it to be this soon.
Right.
We just never know. But even after that, I had some events. I mean, literally a month planned after my mom had passed, and they said, Larry, there's no way you're going to have this Black History program. I said, we've been having this program for 10 years in a row. We have to educate our kids. We have a lot of kids performing. But she wouldn't have had it any other way. And that's why I said life is good, because life goes on. I'll join my parents one day in heaven.
That's right, in paradise.
Amen. And I'm enjoying this time, because there was some times where I couldn't figure out what I was going to do the next day.
Wow, yeah.
And I could always dream. I've listened to the Tyler Perry story, how he lived in his car when he was riding. Shout out to Lance London. I believe prior to him opening up all these restaurants, he was selling dinners out of his car to Ray Lewis and the Ravens. People they stick with it. They stick with it. And
you
so
have to stick with it.
Stick with what you're passionate about. And I've just had an opportunity to start a company that has taken me across the United States. So people fly in from LA, they call us up. And people, like at my black tie red carpet gala, actor Tim and Daphne Reed were there. And 13 states from across the country came to BWI Hilton to come to the event. Great quality. I always tell folks, I mean, I know we have BET honors here in DC, but I tell people all the time, we don't have to go to New York or LA to have a nice red carpet event. And all you have to do is call us up.
That's right. Call us up. Hello. You have our numbers. If not, you have our websites. You can get in contact with us.
Absolutely. Just doing it at a high level. And just to kind of piggyback off of everything, and we're talking about the events, and I say life is good. I was in Newark, Delaware, having a entrepreneurs workshop last year, and a woman of the age of 86 tapped me on my shoulder, and she said, "Mr. White, I want to tell you that was a real informative workshop. I learned a lot." Each speaker talked about how their business was their ministry. And when your business is your ministry, you're going to really soar. You're going to soar, because if you're kind of just winging it, don't know what, like I've talked to a couple of business owners and they can't tell you, and I was once like this, they can't tell you the difference between branding, marketing, and advertising. And as a business owner, if you do not know the difference between branding, marketing, and advertising, you have a hobby.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
I have many hobbies too. Oh my goodness, but I have many businesses as well.
Absolutely. And the fact of the matter is, because branding is the overall hierarchy of the two, right?
Yes.
We know it's our website, we know it's our logo, but what are they talking about you and your business when you leave the room?
That's right.
Branding is key. You asked me about my product and services. That's when you're looking at marketing, what are your product and services? And I get a chance to talk about my product and services on the radio here and advertising. So yeah, it's key for every business owner, because what we try to do as business owners, if you're working with a small budget, you want to be able to cut out the middleman.
Right.
Because if you're constantly hiring people to do things for you, shout out to Dr. Essie McCoy. I built her a website and I said, hey, you don't need to call GoDaddy. We can take care of this right here.
I love that.
Absolutely. And then train her up so she could do it herself.
Yes, I love that. I love it. So you provide training and education with your mentoring.
Yep.
I love that. I love that. So you don't just, and that's I think one of the most key elements as being a business owner and a leader. So there's a difference, and people don't understand that there's a difference between a manager and a leader. So you have many people who can manage. They manage very well. They're about the bottom line and the dollar and the end result. But a leader is going to worry about that, but worry about the people. Absolutely. And make sure the people succeed, and make sure the people, get what they need to get to be able to go to the next level. Because a leader is not just concerned about that bottom line. They want to make sure that you're growing and enhancing and getting where you need to go. And that's what you are. And that's what I saw in you when I asked you to be a part of my show. So most people call and say, hey, we want to be a part of your show. But I personally ask you, and I thank you for accepting my invitation, because I saw the greatness and the things that you were doing, and I said we need to highlight you so that people can understand and see some of the things that you're doing to be able to network with you.
In my boys to men voice, when you asked me, I was on bending knee.
Oh, thank you. I love that. I love that.
Absolutely. Back to 2012, I had no website. I had no business cards. I just had a LLC, a EIN number. I couldn't afford anything.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, I was very strategic on buying things, because I know some folks, and tell the truth, shame the devil, I eat dinner with them and they like, their website looks amazing.
Right.
I said, how much money is that website pouring back into you? And so I came out with a little basic website. Had a couple people look at it. They're like, Larry, it's smooth. It's not a Cadillac, but it's very clear. It's not too busy. And over the years, I've changed the layout. I've innovated it. But I made money, poured money back into the company. Made money. But I didn't just come out with a Cadillac website, a Cadillac dual-sided business card with the logo on the back. Because I see a lot of folks. I used to have a mobile app.
Wow.
And the mobile app was just not, I was not able to monetize it.
Okay.
Everything's on an app these days.
Yes, it is.
But for me, being a small business owners, we're the heartbeat of the community.
Yes, we are. Yes,
but I will one day revisit that mobile app.
Yes.
But I just was not able to make it work for me to make money. So because I tell people all the time, a website is almost obsolete right now.
True.
I mean, you think about a mobile app, and I got a chapter in the book on that. If you can somehow take your business into the mobile app, where you're on the Google Play Store or the iTunes, that's where it is. Because if I may, as a business owner, we got to understand who our target audience is. And the target audience is Generation Z.
That's right.
They're the folks that are 35 to 45 years of age.
Yes.
I'm 49 years of age. I don't mind telling you, I represent Generation X.
That's right. That's right.
But the Generation Z folks are the ones that are online the most.
Yes, they are.
On social media. They're the ones shopping online.
Yep.
So those are the people that we need to be targeting.
That's
and
right.
so just underneath the Generation Z, you have the millennials.
That's
so
right.
understanding who's online, what time of day. Like, you may see some advertising go out on my website via Facebook, but these are triggers set through Hootsuite that say, I need you to do the car service at 6 a.m. Because folks are looking at their email or their Facebook between 6 and 8. Then you have another wave between 10 and 12. And these are things that I study. It's called the algorithm to see when are people the most optimizing their time on their lunch break, right before. And so when you're going to do a Facebook Live and do things like that. So as a business owner, I'm teaching my team, these are the things. I got a slew of folks out there. They on Facebook Live now. They're coming out of their comfort zone because you are your brand.
You are your brand. Yes, you are.
Absolutely.
And what you put in is what you get out.
That's right.
So you have to put in blood, sweat, and tears. Trust me, it will pay off. You will get what you want to get, and you will have your dreams come true.
You know, you mentioned something offline, and I know we both are running on fumes, but I wanted to be here to not only promote my brand, but also meet you.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
And I've been up 15 hours.
Wow.
I've been up since 4 this morning, and I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. I'll go home and be with my children. Shout out to my wife. She's at Spelman Homecoming this weekend. But as an entrepreneur, there's no day off.
We don't sleep.
24/7.
We don't sleep.
Pick up that phone on a Sunday, a Saturday. And for me, if I have a car out on the road, I don't go to sleep until each car is back.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, blood, sweat, and tears.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Mind, body, and spirit. Amen.
I love that. Amen. Amen. So let's talk about, so we've talked about your business, and we're going to get back to that, and then we're going to talk about your book. But before we talk about that, because one of the other things that you are, which is so important for an African-American male, to really talk about, is you are a father and you're a husband. Those are some important things in our community because we need that unity and connection because family is what matters most.
Sure.
So you are a dad. So let's talk about your experience of being a dad and how are some of the things that you are teaching your sons to help them to be able to flourish and develop what they want to be or do.
I have a lot of nicknames. One of my nicknames for VipEvents Concierge is Mr. Concierge.
Okay, I like that, Mr. Concierge.
And therefore, if you rent a vehicle from us and if you're going out for dinner, we will call the restaurant ahead of time and make sure that your food is on the table when you get there.
I love that.
That way you don't have to wait. So as a father, I teach my boys, open the doors for your sisters. A lot of times, African American females, women, they don't get a chance to be treated like queens and princesses as a young girl.
Right.
And so, you know, I'm teaching my boys, treat your sisters like queens. Open the door for them. All right. And then I teach them to be honest, be integrity. You know, we're going to make some mistakes. I was telling another individual on my way here to the station, if you don't know what you're doing, raise your hand and ask for help.
Ask for help.
And don't fake it to make it because it'll catch up with you.
Yes,
so
it does.
I always tell my boys, be very, very just a man of integrity. My mom used to say, Larry, is your license good? Is your insurance? She said, a woman don't want to be in a car with a man in his integrity. It ain't right. And so I teach my boys that. And then I also teach my daughters, make sure that everyone around you respects you.
Yes,
you know,
I love that.
I give them allowance every week if their chores are done.
Yes.
Because I got to write some checks tonight to the kids.
That's right.
And I said,
I love that.
If your chores aren't done, you're not getting paid.
That's right.
And they like, well, we want to go to the mall tomorrow. Well, you got to make sure this is done.
That's right.
And so I want to make sure that they're independent.
Yes.
You know, and this is just going to go back. This is the biggest thing I teach my children. We always tell them, get a good education, go to college. The most important thing you can do for your children, and this works, is introduce them to God.
Introduce them to God.
You may not have a rich bank account.
Right.
You may not be able to give them a car going to college. I put a young man through college 5 years ago.
Wow.
Blood, sweat, and tears. All my boys was writing checks. They had the 529. They're like, hey, Brother White, how much money you giving your son for college? Nothing. I got to go. Hopefully he get a nice SAT score and train him. But we made it through on ramen noodles and doing it. And now he's a director at LexisNexis in Washington, D.C. And I just can't afford him right now to bring him to the company. But there are ways, and we did it through faith.
Yes.
We did it through faith. Through
faith.
And so it's going to be all right. You may not make the six-figure salary right away.
That's
I know
right.
a lot of people thought they were going to win that Powerball the other night.
Yes.
They were hoping and wishing. But then they got to go back to that 9 to 5.
That's
and
right.
be unhappy. But you always give back to the younger people because they are the future.
They are the future. Yes.
Absolutely.
I love that. So you're instilling some great qualities in your children, and it's so important because our children are our future. So what we're putting into them, what we're instilling into them, is going to help from when they go outside that door and be not only a representative of you, but a representative of themselves.
Yeah.
And for people to go see them like, oh, wow, you're such and such kid. That your child is phenomenal. I mean, that is like the greatest thing as a parent, to hear that your child is doing well when they're not just with their parents, and say, oh, your child is well mannered. Yes.
You know, that's an interesting question, something interesting you just mentioned, because my wife is a senior principal in the county, African American, 25 years, and I'm on TV and radio a lot like tonight.
Yes.
And so the kids go to school and they say, we saw your dad on TV.
Wow.
And I have to go to the school every now and again for my son acting up. And I said, now listen, time out the classroom is time out your pocket for education and money. And so a lot of times the pressure's on them, but because my dad didn't come to the school and check on me. I'm that father that's always tried to go have lunch with my children.
Right. Wow.
I've never missed the first day of school.
Yes.
Never.
I love that.
And I mean, especially on the younger years, like kindergarten, first grade, and third. But probably 2 years ago, one of my daughters was going to middle school and the other one was going to high school, and I said, hey, can I hang out with you at the bus stop? And they said, Dad, no, you cannot. You're embarrassing us, right? And I'm hiding around the corner to get some pictures, you know. But you give them everything you got, because I told them, I said, as I'm getting older, y'all gonna have to take care of me as I've taken care of you through the years, you know.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So you are a phenomenal dad too. I love that. See, I mean, he has many, many different talents and layers, and just extraordinary. I mean, it's volumes.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
So let's talk about, before we talk about your book, because we're going to get about your book, but let's talk about, so you are also a doctor, Dr. Larry White, Sr. So let's talk about a little bit, briefly, about your journey there, and then we're going to go into your book.
Interesting. So I have no bachelor's degree.
Okay.
I have no master's degree.
Wow.
I have an honorary doctorate degree from WWMI Bible College Institute in Chicago. And when my mom passed, they had been watching me and said, hey, this guy's great, all this Navy stuff. And so they like, well, we have to get you to write a thesis. I'm like, ooh, boy. And so they like, I said, what type of format do you want, APA? They're like, yeah, we'll take APA. So I wrote a thesis, 20,000 words, and they're like, wow, okay, this is really good. So they said, well, Dr. White, you've been approved for the honorary degree.
Wow.
You need to fly to Chicago to walk cross stage with your classmates. However, there's been a change in your degree. I said, well, how so? They said, your paper was written so well, the president of the college wants to take your honorary degree and make it a regular degree.
Wow.
And so right now, I'm actually taking classes, because now the honorary will be cut off, and it will be a PhD in philosophy.
Yes.
If you listen to me, of course you have, I've always been a great student, writing essays, poems. So I've always had the skills to write. And so they have what you call life credits.
Right.
And so if you have, like for me, a bachelor's degree is about 60 hours. So when they looked at all of my community service, all the education that I did, they're like, wow, this guy has enough life credits for a PhD.
I love that.
So I'm in the process of taking those classes to make that honorary go away. But that's how the doctorate came about.
Wow.
And I was just so blessed that I was writing the book.
Yes.
And the college said, hey, I heard you writing a book. And they said, well, you're going to be able to put doctor on it because you have earned with your lifestyle.
With your blood, sweat, and tears.
I said, well, thank you. And so my wife has a master's degree. She said, you're going to be the only doctor in the house? I said, go get your schooling together, dear, so you can do it. But it really became as a blessing. And a lot of people don't know that. And I don't have any shame to tell people that. But it's something that I'm very, very proud of.
Yes.
For someone, you never know who's watching.
Amen.
Shout out to Dr. Apostle Jewel Robin Robinson, my mentor in Chicago,
welcome.
who saw enough in me. She purchased my book. And so that's how the Doctorate of Philosophy came about.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, congratulations.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about your book.
Okay.
And I just need a quick second.
The Ultimate Networker and Entrepreneur.
Yes. So we're talking about his book. I'm sorry. So I am a severe anemic. We're going to go there real quick. So I've been working from home remotely for the last couple of days. So I am extremely exhausted. My anemia is at an all-time low. It's at a 6 and most. The average person is a 24. So it's going up and down. So just give me a second. But we're going to talk about your book. So please tell us what inspired the book, The Ultimate Networker and Entrepreneur.
Everything we just talked about, from elementary school, middle school, all of that stuff. I had a story to tell. I almost died 1 week before this book published. I was in a car accident, and the car was swerving around, and I just finished writing a book, and it was the editors were doing the final edits, and I said, wow, Lord, this is how it's going down. I lost my mom, lost my dad. I wrote the book. Nobody's ever going to be able to read it. And my mom actually came into the car. Her spirit said, no, this is just a test. You know, remember over the past 4 months it had been raining a lot, and my car hydroplaned. But at the end of the day, I lived to see another day, get the book out, and I had to put that in there. But it inspired me because it teaches people how to become an entrepreneur, how to write your own book, how to do your website. So this book is just not all about Larry. It's about how you can become successful during humble times, how you can go out and get certifications to be a business owner. This book right here will be a bestseller.
Yes, it will.
I've claimed
Name it and claim it. In Jesus' name, amen.
In less than a week, I've sold just about 100 copies.
Yes, amen.
We are on Amazon, but I would love for everybody, if you will, by the sound of my voice and this beautiful young lady, Robin, as we get ready to close, to go to VipEvents Concierge.
Yes.
VIP Events with an S, VipEventsConcierge.com. Second tab on the website. Purchase the book, The Ultimate Networker and Entrepreneur, and it's all about connecting like-minded people together.
Amen. Amen. So that is just phenomenal. I thank you so much for being a part of my show.
Absolutely.
You are extraordinary. You are doing some wonderful and phenomenal things. People needed to hear your message. You are making a difference in the community and people's lives, and it's so important that we give back and sow the seeds in other people.
Absolutely.
Because those seeds are then planted and it grows root in other people. So I thank God for being able to give me this platform to be able to share and have people such as yourself on the show. So thank you so much. I really enjoyed you.
The pleasure's all mine.
Yes.
I'm going to call you offline. I have some more questions for you. I have some great folks that would love to be on your show. But this was a blessing. I'm going to tell you, she blessed me tonight. It's been a rough week. I haven't been feeling well. But today we made it work. And I just thank you and your staff, all the people that are behind the scenes doing things. You know, you look, hey y'all, she looked nice on the flyer, but she's even more gorgeous in person.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I do thank you, my family. A lot of times we have to share ourselves with so many people.
Yes, we do.
And sometimes we just got to say no. Sometimes you're like, hey, and it's nothing personal, but we have to use that time management. This book talks about time management. Happy wife, happy life.
That's right, amen.
Sometimes the wife like, that's enough for the business side.
That's right.
Can we have dad for a little bit?
That's right.
So I'm looking forward. They're going to say, Dad, how did the book go today? How did the show go? I said, listen, let's get something neat. It was great, and I owe that all to you, Robin.
Oh, thank you so much. And you know, you haven't seen the last of us two together. We will definitely have some more to come. You
will be hearing from my producer here in the next 48 hours.
Thank you.
I would like to bring you onto my radio show and talk about that reciprocation thing.
Yes, I love that. So thank you again, Dr. Larry White Sr. You are extraordinary, and we thank you for being a part of the Impact with Robin Dorsey here at WBGR Sports and Entertainment Network. And of course, you know, before I can close out any of my shows, I have to thank my wonderful and fantastic sponsors. So first we have Resurgence Beauty Lounge. Veta, thank you so much for always doing my hair and makeup and making me look beautiful. Thank you so much. We have DUniqueFashionBoutique, which is my sister's fashion line, up and coming, and she is phenomenal. So congratulations, and thank you for always styling me and, you know, making me look beautiful as well. We have DChristopherCommunications, who does my website, who did my show's intro and my show music. So thank you, Donnie, all the way in LA. I love you from the DMV to LA. You are doing some wonderful and amazing things, and I thank you for believing in me and giving me that first thought when you heard all of my wonderful dreams, and you was like, let's do this. And it's because of you that I continued on and was able to win 2 TV awards at DCTV for Best Health Programming and Best Enrichment Programming, so I owe that to you. And then we have Robert Jennings from Crafted, website designs and things. So we have just a plethora of people who are really pouring into me, and I pour into everybody else. And last but not least, we have Father Time and Company. Jay, thank you so much, because his company is about fatherhood. And making sure that, you know, the African Americans are in their children's life, not because they have to be, not because they're just going to pay the child support, but because they want to be in their children. So that company is so important that he is making a difference and making a stance to show you that fathers' lives matter, and it's important to be in part of your children's lives. And last but not least, I cannot do this without you all. Your support means so much to me. I mean, my supporters, my friends, and my family, you all know I have had wonderful dreams and ideas all my life, and through it all, you all continue to follow me. So I am truly blessed to have you in my life, and I thank you so much. This is The Impact with Robin Dorsey, coming to you live from WBGR Sports and Entertainment Network. Thank you, and have a great day.